In a previous video I mentioned that I'm building 3 Hiesbok Hawks, so 2 are built, this one's almost finished, and the difference between this and my second one is that this one I built with ailerons. Okay, so there we go. Alright, hinged on the bottom because like with DLGs you can then have flaps as well, so it's going to be full house. Okay, I set the dihedral to 40mm on this, so normally for the rudder elevator version it's 80mm, so I halved it so it's 40. Okay, so that's the wing. The fuselage is really exactly as I did with the second version, so the tail exactly the same, so they're hinged with the springs ready to go. I just need to glue them on. Just going to take that off just to get those out of the way. So all I've done then is utilise the space that was cut out of this area in the ply to position a couple of servos, so one for each aileron, and what will happen is that I will screw those down so that still allows access from above if I take the wing off. I've put a couple of blocks in there to mount the 2 servos on, so I've bound the 2 servos together. This little piece of balsa that I've cut out will actually be glued back in. Okay, so I just did that temporarily to gain access. Okay, so the front bit of the pod exactly as my version 2. I'm just going to show you the radio installation before I finally finish off the pod. So I've glued on the veneer on this side and the rear section there, and you'll see what I've also done before I glued the veneer on. I cut a little bit out of the balsa side as well. That's so that I can locate the servos. So what I'll do, I'll just pop the receiver where I'm planning to have it first, so the aerial can just go in like that. So the receiver's just going to sit there, and the 2 servos just fit in the space that I've created. There we go. What that does, let's just get those wires out of the way for the moment. Right. What that does is it just recesses the servos, gives them a locating place, but also the actual servo arms will clear my hatch cover. Okay, so I'll have a line coming from there to probably that'll be rudder, this one elevator. Okay, and then there's still the space up front for my battery. Alright, obviously I need to tidy away the wires, but I'll do that once I do the final assembly. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how that looks. Okay, so now I'm just going to finally finish off the pod, get everything installed properly, and I should be able to show you the finished model. Well, there it is, finished, my Hiesbok number 3. This is the version with ailerons. So I'll just show you the final arrangement. So if I just show underneath the wing, so you can see one servo with the push rod to that control horn, and the same this side. Okay, and then I'll just open up the hatch. So there's my receiver, that's the rudder servo, elevator servo, and my battery. Okay, and what's really nice is that this still comes out lighter than my Hiesbok number 1. That's the original version. So I'm really pleased about that. I weighed it, was about 76 grams. The original one was 80, and my rudder elevator version is around about 70. And this pretty much balances at the right point, so I don't think it's going to weigh much different once I've got it balanced just right. Okay, so just to show you it in operation. Now what's really nice actually, having the servos for the rudder and elevator as opposed to the brick where you have the receiver and 2 servos on board, this works much nicer actually. So there's my rudder, let's do it like that. Okay, nice positive rudder control, and then my elevator, much nicer, and it's quieter as well. Okay, so that's good. Let's show you my ailerons. They only have a little bit of movement. I'm not going to need a lot for this because they're full length ailerons. Okay, so right, left. Now, because I've got individual servos, if I hold it like that, you might not be able to see. If I get it close enough, you might be able to see this. I've got under camber set, or what they seem to call is thermal mode 1 and thermal mode 2. So I've got 2 stages of under camber. So I don't know if you saw that, it just moves down both the ailerons a fraction and a little bit more. So I've got 2 stages of under camber, which is nice. And of course, even with the under camber set, I still get my aileron control. And much like with DLGs, I've set this up with flaps as well. I know it's all an overkill probably for this model, but there we go. I've got quite a lot of flap which is on my throttle stick. Okay, so I can control the amount of flap quite nicely and still have aileron control as well. Okay, so that's it. I hope you like it. As regards flying it, well, the situation is the same as when I finished my Hiesbok number 2. The weather is absolutely disgusting, and every day we get more and more rain, which obviously means my little flying spot is going to get more and more boggy. So not sure when I'm going to be able to fly these, but they're ready, and hopefully not too long. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll leave the video at that.